Your priorities when you enter the room is going to be number one, your threat. Obviously, you've got a bad guy or bad guys or girls, then that's your number one threat. That's your number one priority. You've got to eliminate that, solve that problem first. Okay? Your second priority is going to be all the unknowns, all the other people that are involved in this room, whether they're injured, whether they're scared to death, whatever the situation is, they're your next threat, they're your next concern. You've got to address them before you move on. Your third is going to be anything that is a dead space, anything that a person could be hiding behind in this vicinity, a couch, book stand, anything, closet, whatever. Well, closet's second. Closet's going to be your fourth thing, like a closet or a bathroom in the back of the room, and you just need to coordinate with your group. Once you've come in, had an engagement, we're going to do a post-engagement status check. We're going to do an LCAN, let everybody know what we got going on, and then we're going to address the other parts of the room. Does that make sense to everybody? Your communication is going to be critical. And tomorrow, whenever we start doing sims and getting the helmets on and everybody's blood pressure is immediately going to go up and you're sweating and you've got all this adrenaline kicking, these concepts, these basic concepts are going to be difficult to grasp. That's why we're kind of really beating it down to the bare bones basics and trying to give you some options that are not difficult to think about if you look at it in a progressive manner. So the last thing that we're going to talk about after we've done our priorities is exiting the room. So in the event that we decided we were coming in this room, we're hoping the bad guy's in here, and lo and behold, there's not a soul in this room. We've now decided that we've got to exit. The strategy to exit is to converge on the doorway. Once you've converged on the doorway, you're going to have communication between your team. You're going to have two people who are going to take the hallway simultaneously. That means that they're going to come back to back, and they're going to do what we call an Israeli lean. They're back to back in the center of the doorway, and they're leaning out facing either direction of the hall. They're holding the hall. The decision's been made that they're going to execute and move in a specific direction that has to be relayed to everyone in the team so that we're not all going out in different directions. Once that's made clear, they'll do their Israeli lean, they'll take the hall, and they'll move down to the next room. All right, so that's the exit strategy. So recapping one last time. Communication is key. Decisive action is key. Address the threat is priority number one. Maintaining those positions of dominance, making sure that you've got a full scan of the room, you've got your sectors of fire, everything is covered. Scanning the room, making sure that you've got everybody in the room addressed and you're in control. You're addressing all the unknowns. You're addressing all the dead space. You address the secondary rooms like the bathrooms and or the closets, and then you prepare to exit your room. Remembering that somewhere in there you need to let your people know through your LCAN what you got going on. If you had some kind of engagement, you're letting people know, hey, or you're checking yourself, making sure what? Your weapon is in first because of the in probability, but the event that there is a secondary shooter, you want to make sure that you're hot and ready to roll. Then you're checking for injuries on yourself and getting back in the fight. Questions on any of that? I've run myself for long enough, so we're going to break off and do some team movements down the halls.